Is there anything sexier than a room full of men wearing jewelry? The testosterone level in the studio is off the charts because it's all about men's jewelry. On this episode, what you see is what you get. The jewelry, not the men. On today's show, we're going to build a bracelet that's as tough as a brick wall, learn how to cast a necklace out of fish bone with molten metal, and rivet a masculine metal bracelet out of silver and copper. So stay tuned because we're about to make your hard-working guy look sexy and ready for a night out with you. Hi, I'm Jackie Guerra, and this is my studio. Welcome to Jewelry Making. Today, it's all about the guys. Let's face it, jewelry isn't just for women. It's actually really cool for guys to wear it too. And on today's show, I've got 3 sizzling male guests to show us some masculine pieces for the hotties in our lives. My first guest is here to show us how to rivet with silver and copper. Come on, what man doesn't like to rivet? Please welcome jewelry artist Gary Brown. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Jackie.
Now, why do you design men's jewelry?
I designed men's jewelry because I used to be a sculpture artist and found that it's really kind of hard to market larger sculptures, and I decided I wanted to minimize it and make it more accessible to everybody, and I like wearing my jewelry.
And easier to transport.
Exactly.
And everybody loves it.
Great.
And you've made something really beautiful and yet masculine. Beautiful yet masculine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is really original and cool. You're going to show us how to rivet.
Exactly.
Let's rivet, brother.
All right. Well, first of all, you're going to start off by figuring out what your design is going to be, whether you want it to be linear or curvaceous.
And I'm going to say, should we go with the curvaceous,
Let's
Gary?
go curvaceous. Okay. Well, we'll start off by
figuring out
how to do the curves.
So first we're going to figure out choose curvaceous or linear, and in this one we're going to do curvaceous.
We're going to do some curves. I'm going to show you how to do both. First of all, you want to draw out some different designs and decide which one you like best.
Okay.
After you've done that, what you want to do is find a piece of transparent cutting paper and draw your design on the back of that paper, flip it over, and then put some tape down, and you're going to trace out your design several times in a row. You'll adhere it to your metal, and once you've done that, you can move your metal over to your bench pin, which is right here, and you will saw out your design.
Okay.
And now this is for the curvaceous. Now I'm going to show you the proper procedure for sawing. Or
Okay.
actually not procedure, but angle.
Because a lot of people tend to saw on an
If
angle.
you saw at an angle, this is not like wood. This is a really thin blade. If you saw at an angle, you're going to snap it.
Okay.
Okay?
So it's
So
up and down.
it's up and down, like so. Not.
Ooh, don't do it,
Snap!
No snapping!
No snapping. Okay. Now, that's for the curves.
Okay.
Now, if you're doing something that is straight, it's much easier. What you do is you just basically scribe your line.
So you just have a piece of base metal sheet.
Right. I'm just doing it on copper because that's what I happen to have handy. You scribe it out.
Just a plain old craft knife.
That's it.
Oh,
And
look at that. Very
gives you a
clearly
nice,
defined
clear line.
Okay.
You'll use your tin snips. Cut straight down. Now, when you use your tin snips, the metal is going to bend. And it's a lot easier to work on the metal once it's flattened.
Oh, okay.
So, what you do is you take your metal over to your metal plate.
So this is an example of something you've cut out that's got a little
Right.
bend to it.
I put a little more bend into it than usual, but hey.
A little bit of an
Just
exaggeration.
a little bit of curve. And you use a rawhide mallet. This is nylon. I have it because I'm a jeweler, but a rawhide mallet's a lot less expensive.
And equally as effective.
And equally as effective.
Okay,
the reason
beautiful.
you're using that is because you don't want to dent your metal.
Right.
Okay? So now you've done that. Now that you've done that, you are going to...
Rivet.
No.
Almost.
You got to finish cutting out your pieces.
Okay.
Once you finish cutting out your pieces, you've got your shapes done, you're going to clean up the edges. Sorry. I'm not supposed to lift.
That's all right. You know, I know we're going pretty quickly, and this is a lot of information to retain. If you missed any of the steps, please visit our website at DIYnetwork.com.
Okay. You need to clean up your edges. Now, you can use a jeweler's file, or you can use a piece of coarse sandpaper. But remember, when you're sanding, do it at an angle because you're going to scratch the surface of your metal if you don't.
Okay.
Once you've cleaned up all the edges, the next thing you're going to do is create a hole, and you want it to be about 1/3 to 1/2 centimeter in from the edge.
And you want all the holes in all of your pieces to be the same, about the same
You want them in the
distance from
same
edge.
position.
Okay.
You want them, and you should, on both the smaller pieces and the larger piece.
Now, once you have created your holes, you'll end up with a piece that looks like this,
Bingo.
right? Okay.
But to real quick, yeah, that's how you scribe. You're going to use your drill.
And make your
And
holes.
you're going to make your holes. You drill out your holes. A quick cleanup way is to
take your craft knife.
and scratch off the excess metal.
Great tip.
You've done that. The next step is doing your rivet. I've pre-prepared this. This one I've already riveted.
Okay, so
this
these
is
are the pieces
closure.
you just taught us how to cut
Right.
and drill. And now you have the same thing, but in a smaller version, which is your link.
Right.
In a different colored metal, which starts your design. Okay, now show me how you close
Well, now,
it.
here's the closure. I jumped this step. Basically, you're going to use your jeweler's saw and saw out that section. Now,
Okay.
you want enough room for your post to fit through. So you might have to use a piece of sandpaper to bring it down.
Okay, so we've
Okay?
got this section.
We got that. Now, what we want to do is use, this is a really good hint, use
Just
the
a regular old nail clipper that's got a little
good
file.
flat edge. You're going to cut, and you want to be about 1/2 millimeter on each side of the metal.
Okay.
It's through both sides of the metal. Then the next step is you're going to check and make sure that it's coming out both sides. You want a little bit more on the top surface.
And you're using your flat
I'm
side
using the
first.
flat edge, just because I want to spread the metal a little bit, and that's what'll do it.
And by doing it on both sides with the opposing edges, you actually are stretching that metal. It's
Bingo.
the natural process.
And you don't have to give it much of a tap. Then you turn it over and you give it a good
Whack.
couple good whacks on both sides.
And Gary, I'm so sorry, we're running out of time,
Okay.
but so you would connect your pieces like that throughout,
Mm-hmm.
and then to find the shape, just really quickly, you have such a great tip.
Okay.
Gary doesn't use a mandrel, he uses...
We'll use the baseball bat.
Excellent.
And
That becomes the shape. Look at that. So easy, so great. Wow, now let's see how Gary's bracelet looks on the very hunky Giorgio, who's modeling it for us. Incredible, Gary. Love it. Love it. Thank you so much.
thank you, Jackie.
Later, we'll learn a technique to make a fishy metal cast, and I'll show you some sizzling new tools. But next, we'll learn how to construct a brick wall bracelet. Welcome back. This is Jewelry Making, and today it's our version of the Man Show. We've got some great guys showing us how to make jewelry for the men in our lives. And our next guest is going to show us how to build a brick wall bracelet, that is. He's a jewelry instructor from the incredible Bidissimo. Meet Stephen James. Hey, Stephen.
Hey, good to meet you.
Really great to meet you. I'm so excited that we're going to do a bracelet, because I think that bracelets are one of those things that people think are super simple, super easy, but they can be pretty difficult,
Yes, they
right?
can, especially multiple strand. And I think trying to figure out the right length is always, a little difficult, because the range can be from 7 to 9 inches for men.
Right.
So you should always measure before you begin.
Okay.
And so we've actually measured our stringing material right here.
And we're going to do a bracelet that's going to fit your wrist. We're building this.
Exactly.
brick
We're building
wall